suddenly see two hornets or 3 or 4, it's because they all individually found your beehive. It's not because there is any communication in the nest to say, okay, there's a beehive where you have a lot of bees. We can even sometimes pre-program a hornet that is hunting. If I am standing behind my beehive and I've put, and there's a hornet hovering to catch a bee, if I put this in front of her nose, she sits on it, I put it on top of the beehive, and she stops hunting. And the next time she returns, she comes to my wing base station. So 1 hornet less that is hunting my bees. That's all experience after years and years and years doing it. Where do you have to put your traps? Between your beehives or in front of your beehives. That's in Wallonia, they tested a lot of positions with traps in an apiary, and they said we catch more hornets if we put them 2 meters or 3 meters in front of the beehive, or we put them between our hives. Because we in Flanders, most of the hives are in a row. I know I saw in Jersey they are more in a circle or things like that, but in Flanders normally they are in a row. So we put them, the traps between it. So different types of protection of the beehives. They're called the Belasco. I have 5 slides about it. Maybe it's better to take pictures of it to have all the dimensions, because I will not say, oh, you have to do it like this or like that, because you can find everything online. The first one is the electric harps. That's the first type of harp I used. I gave them to Honeybee Valley at the University of Ghent, where there's a European expertise about honeybees. I gave them to them. You see they have 4 hives in 4 different directions, 4 hives protected, 4 hives not protected. There was a student who was doing experiments with it. You see, I call this a wet harp, so it's water inside of it. The problem is, also bees want to drink from the water and they are killed. I have the newer afterwards, that's the second, that's on my roof. 2 harps over there. Here I have 4 beehives with electrical harps. So this is a dry harp. If a bee flies against a wire and she falls down in the collector, she can escape again. They are not killed immediately. Even with a wet hive like that, they fall in the water and they can't get out. So if a bee flies against the wire and she falls in the water, she will die. And the new type of harps, they are not dead because they can't fly out again. But hornets, they are stuck. They are collected here in this case in a bottle. If there is a bee in it, I just release her. Yeah. Or I put a little bit of, how do you call it, the green thing?
Cover tape.
What you put between your brood and your circle, green excluder, you can put a little bit of that, so bees can get out as well. But I've checked my traps every day, so I see if there's a bee inside of it or not. So you have to put them in front of your beehives. Sometimes where you have a lot of beehives, they put one in the backside of it as well. If this is the first hive, sometimes they put one like this as well, because if you have a row of hives, the Asian hornets come from the side, flying in front of your beehives, go to the weakest of your hives, and they are flying from left to right. When I came back from Jersey, I saw there were also some hornets who came from the front. So I knew with replacing a harp that was short-circuited, I knew those hornets are already used to come in front, pick a bee and go away. This one I killed with a butterfly net or a badminton racket, because I know they are smarter than the rest. They are not that smart, the wasps. So that's how you put them. So normally you put 2 of them in the row of beehives. If you have 10 beehives, maybe better one left, one in the right side, and one in the middle. So I said 3 types of harps. The normal one without anything under it, that's the wet one, and that's the newer one. I also have as power supply my solar panel and the small car battery. It's not a car, I don't know what it is. So it's not on at the moment, so you can't touch it. Yeah? But the first one was only with a solar panel, but just like in the UK and Belgium, we have more grey than blue skies. So it's not working during the whole day, not at night. There's a photovoltaic cell inside of it. So during the night it doesn't work. If you have night butterflies or moths, they will not get electrocuted. Some beekeepers said, yeah, but the birds will be killed as well. No, it's not that much power on it. The voltage is 3000 volts, something like that. That's a lot. But current, ampere, it's not that high. So the newer ones are this. It's not that cheap. It's quite expensive, but you have to sell 20-30 jars of honey and to have it, something like that. And that's the website where I bought them. For me, they are the best ones. You have different types, but I like these most. It takes approximately 3 hours to put them together. I have a lot of holes from the wires in my fingers as well, but there's a new type now. I saw this is already an older one. I think it's better to make them. You also can find them online to make them by yourself. It's cheaper. If you search for electric harp and Nicolas Regentete, you find a schedule how to make it. You can 3D print this as well, but he doesn't have a collecting system, so it's a wet harp. That's something he made by himself. Another one, if you search this, no, that's his one. So if you search it, you have, I think, 12 pages with same construction, how to build it. There are even harps with electrical fly swaps. The piece that is inside the handle, they use that to produce it. So you can find it easily online. There's a lot of research that was about the electrical harps. A lot of them are from Sandra Rojas from Spain and Julia Pascal from Spain. And I like them very good, the harps, because if your hive is not protected, you have a lot of hunting hornets. The protected hives have less hornets. If you look in winter, when there was a high pressure of hornets, only 50 beehives survive winter. Because they are not protected, there are not a lot of food. But the protected hive with electrical harps survive winter more. When there is an intermediate number of hornets, even there you see it's a bigger difference. When there are only 1 or 2 hornets, don't put electrical harps because there's not a lot of difference, but they don't like it that much. So the first 2 days when I put it in the end of July, I don't put my solar panel on it, so they learn it. So your bees are smarter, they learn about it. So, but if there are not a lot of hornets, don't start with things like that. Only if you have a lot of huntings. Protected hives showed 88.8% less predation pressure. So they didn't come in foraging paralysis. So that's a very good system for it. I like this system the most. What I don't like, and you will see it in the next slides as well, I don't like to put things in front of the hives. And almost all the rest is putting things in front of the hives. So the research in Honeybee Valley, they said don't put harps in the fly path of the bees, that's first of all. Don't put things in front of the beehives like plants or something like that, so that the bees also have to go through the hives if they don't go all over the plants. Don't do it when they're swarming, because there will be bees that are killed. If two bees together go between two wires, they will they will be killed. Normally a bee can go through it, because it's 2 centimeters, bee can go through it. But if there are too many bees, they touch each other and they are killed. And as I said before, use the dry house. The next thing they use a lot in France are the muzzles to put in front of your beehive. What's the reason of that? As you see, you make a bigger distance between your beehive and the hawking hornets, so there is less stress in your bees. It depends on how big the mesh is. 13 millimeters, 14, 15. Sometimes they can fly, but most of them go up and fly out from here. You can take it out as well if you want. So you don't have to put this, but so the bees who are flying away, they don't have stress. They land on the muzzle and they go in. Sometimes an Asian hornet picks them up from the mesh. So, but there is less stress in your beehive. That's the advantage of it. That's a new type of it. So bees learn it quite quick how to use it. Another type, as I said before, I don't use it. I don't put things in front of my beehives. As well, there are some research articles about it. So they see if you have the control hive and a hive with muzzle, there is less foraging paralysis because there is more activity over there, and here there's less activity when they only use the muzzles. So that's another research article. Here they say 41% less foraging paralysis, and then 88%. So there's less foraging paralysis with these type of protection as well. So to surviving the winter, up to 51% more winter survivors when there are a lot of hornets in the beehives. But France, Spain, Portugal, they have 20 nests per square kilometer in some areas. You don't have it yet. So if you look at the differences between muzzles, hives, electrical hives, with muzzles, they already stop with the activity earlier than with electrical hives. At the end, they are already going in winter. The control group started almost the same as the hives with muzzles, but more important is to look what's inside the hive. So the electrical hives are the green ones, the muzzles are the orange. When you look later in the season, in November, there is more honey inside your beehive. That's most important. There are the number of pollen later in the season again more than with muzzles. With muzzles, they don't bring any pollen anymore. And the brood with electrical hives, there are more broods than if you have only the muzzles. So I like electrical hives more than the muzzles because of one of these type of research. Yeah. No questions about this, because I know it's going difficult more and more. Yeah. Next type of trap is the Korean trap, invented by a French beekeeper. That's to collect hornets that are coming to your hives to collect sugars. So as spring trapping, you have an old brood box with extracted honey frames. So the hornets come out of hibernation, the queens come out of hibernation. They're searching sugars, they are landing on it, and then they are flying up through the funnel and they are caught in this cylinder. So you see there's also, how do you call it? Plank? Type of wood? Yeah. Wood, where he puts it up. So after they have enough sugars, they always fly up to the light and they are caught inside of it. At the top, you can see it's split in two. He can open a little bit to clean it. If you want dimensions, take a picture of it. I will not explain it, how to make it. It's all here. How you make the circle, how you make the funnel, how you make the roof, with what type of mesh you need, 6mm mesh. So that's how you can make it. The next one is the Col de Belasco. You see them a lot in Spain. You can only use it when your beehives are in a row. So it's a tunnel with openings in front of the tunnel. So the workers enter, the hornet workers enter the tunnel because they want to catch some bees. But the mesh is as well 6mm, so if bees get in, she can go out, but the hornet isn't. At the end, in the middle and in the beginning, there's a vertical cylinder, and so the hornets can't fight the exit anymore. They fly to the left or to the right, come in this tunnel, and they are caught like the Fretsulat, like the other one. So that's how you look, how you see it with openings just under the flying board of the beehives. The chimney, a funnel inside of it. The next 4 or 5 will be the measurements of everything. So those called the Belasco is to catch hornets that are hunting your bees. Yeah, so it's to put from August to November sometimes. The hornets are trapped, so they can't hunt again. Once they are trapped, they can't fly to the nest, because sometimes a hornet, when she found the McDonald's, she goes to her home and she comes back up to 70 times a day. So 70 bees by one hornet going away from your hive. It's only be used with hives in a row, otherwise you have to make a lot of them. And the vertical tubes have to be placed in the sun. Yeah. To make them, the next slides, yeah, with the distance in front of your beehive and things like that, just take pictures. I will not explain it, you will find everything online, but you saw what it is. Next one are the horizontal tubes, how to make this with the mesh of 8mm. Then the next one is about the chimneys, how to make the chimneys. The horizontal tube go in the chimney. It's a lot of work to make it as well, but I see them already in Flanders. But you see it, a lot of them in Spain. Then to make the funnel and the ring to put on top of the chimney, what you need, you have to cut a little opening over there, so when the hornets enter the funnel, they go up, 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 and then in the hat, they are caught in the hat. And then you need a mesh of 4mm, because the smaller worker hornets can go out of 6mm, but if you use 4mm. Just to give you an idea, to make one Col de Belasco, it's about 100 pounds for a Col de Belasco of 10 meters long. So that's about the price if you have everything. But a lot of things you already have, the tie wraps you have, maybe the ring you maybe already have, some glue, hot glue is the best. Nuria Pascal, the researcher in Spain, has a research article about it. She looked at her col de Belasco, the muzzles and the electrical harps. In her research, she says we have more captured hornets in our col de Belasco than you have with muzzles, because muzzles don't capture hornets. Yeah, they stay at the outside of it, and with electrical harps. I like electrical harps much more. Why? Because you don't have to put anything in front of your bees, so your bees can always fly. Yeah? But she says it's even 3.5 times more hornets with col de Belasco. That's what she said in her research article. Why is it a good method to reduce the pressure of the hornets in your apiary? 3 to 5 times less pressure, so less stress for your bees. Survivorship of the colony is much more than if you don't put anything. So if you don't put electrical harps, if you don't put col de Belasco, you will have more beehives that are collapsing in winter because they don't have enough food. So that's what she says about it. It's highly selective. You don't have other insects in it as well. With a trap, you can have other insects. And if it's a kill trap, you have a lot of other insects. I also saw when pizza, we went to an apiary and there were glue, some like to have mouse, yeah, some paper with glue. I saw a lot of insects, but I didn't see an Asian hornet on it. European hornets, mosquitoes, even bees. What are other things, inventions? Yeah, it's a site of combination between a muzzle and a col de Belasco, like this one. This is the newest one. So it's putting in front of your beehive, it's a muzzle, but afterwards the hornets are collected in the top of it. So it's a col de Belasco as well. Yeah? And people are making them by themselves. They make a muzzle. If the hornets go inside and they are catching a bee, they fly up and they come in a bottle. Here as well, they come up and they fly in the bottle, just like this one. This one is about, I think, 35 pounds, something like that. But if you make them by yourself, it's much cheaper as well. But that's a combination. Other combinations for later. The tent, approximate tent, you can buy it in France. It's the same principle. The hornet hunts the bees, so this is in front of your beehive. The bees fly through it after a couple of days. Even if they fly up, they can go through the mesh. Yeah? So a hornet enters the tent to hunt the bees. When they catch the bee, they fly to the top and they are collected in the box. It's not made like that. I have to put a second box on it, but I forgot it as well. So that's another type of defense. I think it's about 15 to 20 pounds for one. Yeah? They use it more and more in France as well, but my beehives are on the top of my roof. I can't use it because I can't use the wires, so I only have it for presentation. So that's another protection that can be used if your beehives are not in a row. So if you have one beehive over there, one over there, one over there, it's too expensive to buy 2 harps for every beehive, but maybe you can buy some tents, or you can make them by yourself as well. The Norma is an older type of protecting, from Spain as well. Bees fly out of one funnel and they enter the other one, but the problem is bees get stuck inside of here, so for the hygiene of the beehive it wasn't good. Another problem was rain that get in, so I don't see them anymore. Yeah? The other combination I wanted to tell you about was a combination about a muzzle and electrical harp. So it's an electrical muzzle. Yeah? So that's 2.5 centimeters between the wires, so the bees can fly through it. And that's with, I think, a battery of very low grass. You know what I mean, yeah? I think it's a battery from that. Other thing, a big tent around your beehive. There was the same year of Honeybee Valley tested my house, but the net constriction did not provide adequate protection because they landed on the net, they get in, and they fly inside the big tent. But I see more and more beehives protected with that in Belgium. I'm almost finished. If you don't have protection, what will happen? Not this year, not next year, but maybe in 5 to 10 years, you see 10, 20 hornets in front of your bees. Your bees don't fly anymore. They don't bring any food in, so that's for raising paralysis. That's from Germany already. Yeah? That's in France. You see the beehives. All the bees that are, how do you call it, the guard bees, are already taken away. None of those bees are flying anymore. But they have a small protection that the workers from the hornets can't enter. So what's inside stays inside from bees, but they will die if they don't have enough of honey. But you see it, every hive over there has 20, 30, 40 Asian hornets wanted to go in. And at the moment you don't have any guard bees anymore. You have the two types of hornets. You have the hornets who are collecting the proteins, but also the other hornets who wants the honey come to your hives, but they can't enter because they have entrance reducers. I have different types of entrance reducers. I don't know if Abelo or Thorn have them with them. Some are from the mice, I think. The other one is for pollen, collecting of pollen or something like that. But they use them in France, so with a 5.5, I think, they use it so that they prevent to the worker hornets to enter your beehive. Oh, this one I saw. The last thing, that's the newest product invented in Belgium. That's Apix pollen. What is it? That's a complete food for bees. They tested it in tents. First year in Belgium, the year after in the USA. The USA has 60% winter loss last year. So if they put this on the beehives, they can survive on it for 180 days. With a normal nutritions like you have apicolin or something like that, apicolin doesn't have all the nutritions for